Hello and welcome to the next part of our project sprint as we wind our way through the project-based learning approach. The third phase of our project-based learning approach is to take authentic action, to explore ideas and solutions to problems and have a go at taking some real action. And the way that we're going to explore this part is to look at a real problem and to develop some ideas. And this would be an aspect of the work that you would do with your students. In lesson 4.4, you're going to develop some ideas about how might we reduce waste plastic in our schools. Let's remind ourselves where we are in our process. We've spent some time looking at questions. We've spent some time creating an infographic that represents some learning. So there's been some time exploring that. And then in this part of the module, we're going to be spending some time developing ideas. And those ideas are things that we can share with others and start to develop up maybe a real solution to a genuine problem that we're facing. We're in the authentic action part of the process in this lesson. A reminder here for you about our course protocols. It's really important that we consider parts of these when we're doing this work because we're going to be listening and sharing our ideas with others. And a crucial idea, a protocol that we have to use is the yes and protocol. And when we hear an idea, we're going to say yes, and we could do this. Those two words are really powerful. One is that when we say yes, we're affirming and positive of another person. And then we say and, we're being additive. We're adding new ideas potentially to that, making new connections. Those two words cue our brains into being positive and additive. We're also going to try and be as present, as focused as we can, and we're going to be kind, specific, and helpful in our feedback with each other. If you remember at the beginning, I was speaking to you about holding your ideas lightly, and this is the time when we need to use this protocol. We're going to be thinking of new ways to solve that problem about waste plastic in our schools, and we need to hold our idea lightly so that other people can improve it and you can share it with others. I really encourage you to connect again with the course protocols and connect again with the ways of working here. How might we reduce waste plastic in our schools? That's our challenge. And one of the things that you'll work on is developing a real challenge with your students, a question that everybody can get on board with and maybe develop some ideas around. What were we going to actually do? This is the idea of you developing some ideas around waste plastics in schools. For example, you might come up with the idea of bottles to billums. And our idea is to shred plastic containers into threads, and so that you can use those threads and weave and sell recycled billums at the market. And you might do a little post-it note with a sketch of the idea, and then you're going to develop a range of these, and then you're going to share it with other people. And it's at that point when people might say, oh, yes, and we could use the bottle caps for buttons, or yes, and we could use different, colored plastic to add some pattern and some color to our recycled billums, or yes, and we could use other recycled materials to add decoration and different features to what we make. The idea development is a crucial way of expressing our creativity, and it's an opportunity for you to explore this problem in different ways. Let's go to our activity. Let me give you some really clear instructions about what you're going to do. In this activity, you're going to develop ideas and share them with someone for feedback. Number one, you're going to download your resources, identify where in your learning journal this work is. Number two, you're going to read the problem statement. Spend some time reflecting on what that is. How might we reduce waste plastic in our schools? The first step of this is to spend some time alone. Get some independent thinking time, record ideas that come to you for 5 minutes, capture your ideas. Do what you can to capture them in your workbook. There's some spaces available for you in the journal. Then you need to find someone to share your ideas with, find another team member or a colleague, or even a student. Then spend 5 minutes or so pitching and sharing your ideas. Explain what some of your ideas are, even if there's a few sketchy scribbles and a few crazy things. Share your ideas with them and encourage them to give you some feedback about them. And when they do give you some feedback, make some notes in your learning journal to improve your ideas. This is your activity. it's all about your creative ideas. It's all about that question about how might we reduce waste plastic in our schools. It should take you about 30 minutes or so, because you're going to be spending some time developing, talking, and then maybe some more time rebuilding and developing those ideas. Okay, I hope you enjoy the development of your ideas around this problem.